Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. In efforts to increase the quality of education in both St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Cuba, through enhanced cooperation, the Ministry of Education and National Reconciliation of SVG and that of the Republic of Cuba has signed a letter of intent, LOI. A release from the Ministry of Education states the LOI sets terms which both parties intend to work in the areas of special education, early childhood education, primary education, and secondary education. Each party will promote, facilitate, and encourage the development of direct contacts among institutions for academic research and stakeholder associations. The letter of intent was signed in Havana, Cuba on February 3rd, 2023, by the Minister of Education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Curtis King, and the Minister of Education of the Republic of Cuba, Dr. Ina Velázquez Cobiela. The agreement will remain effective for 3 years and will be automatically renewed on the date of its expiration. There will be provisions for amendments with the written consent of both parties. Senior Education Officer at the Department of Adult and Continuing Education, Mrs. Desiree Richards, on Thursday, 23rd February 2023, presented a lecture to the staff at the Criminal Investigation Department, CID. An official post on the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force's Facebook page stated that officers were lectured on the topic professional image. They were reminded about the need to become professionals who genuinely care about their clients while carrying out their daily tasks in the field of security, whether on or off duty. Head of the Criminal Investigations Department, Superintendent of Police, Mr. Clauston Francis, and Assistant Superintendent in an exemplary manner in the question and answer segment. The statement said the lecture was the first in a series of lectures planned for 2023 in the investigative department. Mrs. Richards concluded her lecture by encouraging the officers to make a positive impact in their sphere of influence while they engage in expert communication, quality customer service, and consistent, healthy professional relationships. Still on the local scene, the just launched Farm Labor Assistance Program caters to all farmers across the nation, according to the Minister of Agriculture, Saboto Caesar. During his address at the official launch of the program in Trumaka on Tuesday, 21st February, he said registration for services provided under the program will continue this week and next week. We hear more from the Agricultural Minister. Mr. Caesar encouraged farmers to register for the services they need and disclosed that extension officers will be visiting the various communities to gather the necessary information. On the regional scene, CARICOM heads of government are set to explore working with companies who service the Caribbean to find a solution to the current transportation woes the community is facing. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt earlier today said, "We're looking at what kind of construct we can bring into play, recognizing that there are existing companies that are servicing our islands and how we can work with those existing entities to seek to alleviate the current challenge." He was at the time speaking at a press conference at the conclusion of the 44th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in Nassau, the Bahamas. In response to a question from the media, the Prime Minister said that inter-regional transportation is an ongoing discussion and that the heads of government had received a report from the President of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB. Still on the regional scene, on February 21st, 2023, Trinidad-born Isaac Ramsing, who has been living in Toronto, Canada for the past 55 years, celebrated his 100th birthday in Barbados. According to Barbados Today, Ramsing, who will be in the island for a few months, along with his daughter Nalini Ramsing and her husband Frank Visconti, said he felt blessed, especially since he is the only person in his generation to reach the milestone. He said, "We are strangers here in Barbados, but the people we know are very polite and very kind to us." The father of eight said his wife, who was his backbone and biggest supporter and motivator, passed away 8.5 years ago. Ramsingh, whose parents were immigrants from India, said his family moved to Canada in 1967 in search of better educational opportunities for the children. The interview was conducted at Rowan's Park, St. George, at the home of a friend of the Ramsinghs, who organized a special birthday luncheon for the centenarian. On the international scene, police in Florida still do not know why a suspected gunman shot and killed a TV reporter, a woman, and a 9-year-old girl earlier this week. Police identified the suspect as 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses. Reports state the suspect is in custody and refuses to cooperate in the investigation. On Thursday, police identified the first victim of the shooting spree as 38-year-old Natasha Augustine. Nearly 5 hours later, the suspect returned to the scene of the first homicide and opened fire at a Spectrum News 13 crew that was covering the earlier shooting. After shooting 24-year-old reporter Dylan Lyons dead and leaving another injured, the suspect walked to a home nearby and shot and killed 9-year-old Tiana Mia. Tiana's mother was also shot and taken to the hospital in critical condition. Orange County Sheriff John Mina said the shooting so far appeared to be a random act of violence. This has been WFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.